Welcome to this video. Here I will show you some of the settings that you'll need on your Google form to make a survey that would be a great introduction. So for example, if you have a back to school night with parents, or if you have just the first day of school and you want to grab some quick information about your students or your parents and make it very accessible, maybe on a phone, for example, just to get people involved, to get people active, but without so much logging in and without maybe even having an account. So let me show you some of the settings that you'll have. First of all, you've already created your amazing Google form. You get the survey that gives you all the information that you need. So for example, back to school night, you may get some great information from parents, get to know the student a little bit better, and so you have the form all set up and ready to go. What you're looking for is up here at the top right. You want to look for this gear. That gear is going to be your settings option. Click that gear, and what I will say is by default this setting is turned on, restrict to Marshall County users, which is great oftentimes when you're doing something like in the middle school year, or you're giving the students a quiz or something like that. But if you're doing an introduction, or especially if you're doing something with parents, you want to turn this off because the parents won't have a Marshall County school account. Also, if this is turned on, the students would have to log in, and maybe if it's the first day back, they don't remember their password or whatever. So if you turn this off, then it's just more available to everybody. And again, that is always turned on by default. Make sure that you don't have this turned on if you're doing intro survey, because again, that would cause them to log on. So basically, you want to make sure that all these are turned off so that no one has to log on, your parents and your students, either one. You could turn on I would not do the summary chart if you're doing like, what's your name, what's your address, because you don't want to see a bar graph of, 3 people had the name John. That's not important. So I would just turn all of these things off. That will make everything much more user-friendly and easier for your parents. You also probably, over here on your presentation tab, you don't necessarily need them to have a link to do another response if you're having them do this on their own device, like on their phone. If you have a station set up in your room, like maybe the parents are rotating through back to school night, or the students are rotating through on the first day of school, and you have a station where people are doing the survey, you would want to turn that on so that the next person that walks up could click that link and do another one. But I would turn that off if you are doing, bring your own device kind of activity, and make sure you give them some kind of kind message when it's over, right? Some kind of thank you for submitting your survey, and save that. Now, once that's all said and done, you have your survey ready to go, and you are ready to send this out. This gets a little complicated. I want to show you some tricks in the next video about creating a shorter URL, doing QR codes, easier ways to get this to your parents or to your students on their phones. So come back for the next video and I will show you those tricks.